Standing in Tadasana is where we shall find ourselves in preparation to start today's practice. So let's bring our feet together. We might like to lift the toes and stretch into the toes and then place them softly back onto the mat. We're going to take some rounds of breath here to allow ourselves to align, to rise up through our skeletal frame, to connect with our breath, to sigh a breath out, and then to refill the lungs with new positivity, a new breath in. We draw up through the legs, lifting the flesh, on the fronts, the sides, the backs, the lower and upper regions of the legs. We connect with our pelvic area and we lift the pubis to the navel internally. We scoop up the tummy. We lift the flesh of the buttocks, draw the buttock cheeks together, and we continue elevating the skin on the flesh of the trunk of the body upwards. We are aiming to achieve our maximum height, keeping our chin parallel with the floor, allowing our arms to rest naturally at the sides of our body, our fingers loose down toward the floor. And then we close the eyes to familiarize ourselves with our balance, our inner balance. We may sense that our weight is distributing itself between the 2 feet. It may be shifting, and we want to center this. So we draw inward to our core. We stand firm and tall. We connect with our core and allow the strength and the energy from there to emanate outwards. And then we open the eyes. We're going to do a forward flexion with the spine, and then we will repeat that, but utilising the arms in a jackknife position, which is really helpful if you've been bent over on a laptop or a PC all day, sitting at a desktop, or indeed if you've got very rounded upper body and shoulders. The jackknife position of the arms will help really release that stress and begin to break it down, loosen it, and to also loosen the muscles within the shoulders. You can be very strong in physical being without it feeling rock hard. You can have nice pliable muscular system that's very strong. And yoga will help you achieve that. So let's start with forward bend. We're just going to place our hands on our hips. Check that your hands are on your hips. If they're up here, you've gone for your waist. You want to have them on your hips because they can actually give a little bit of assistance, and when the mind sends the message down to the hips to create space, because it's this region that is the origin of this movement, the fingers can just draw the flesh up to help create a bit of extra room. So breathe in, rise up, make that space, and then with the thumbs at the back resting on the innominate bone, you can use gentle pressure to just push the hips forward. Take your time because you'll be able to take another breath in, refill the lungs, and you'll be able to create more room to then hinge forward. Now as you're going forward, taking your time so that you may consciously control, look at the head and neck and get it nicely aligned as a natural extension of the spine. So be aware if you've let it drop down too much, or if you're trying to keep it up and you've got all creases in the back of the neck. Allow them to soften and smooth, and really feel this extension from the base of your spine up through the mid to the upper. Now the legs will be working as well. Hopefully, if you can feel any parts that are being sluggish, maybe trying to hide away, then activate and engage them. Lift the knees, keep the knees lively and lifted. Rise up through the hamstrings, lift the Achilles tendon, the really strong ligament down there, just to give it a gentle message to tell it to start rising up. All parts of the body assist in the movement. It's a total body experience. Just explore the amount of stretch and reach that you actually have. Get to a point that's comfortable for you without any shaking of the legs. If the legs begin to shake, that is your nervous system telling you you're going just a bit too far. So you should pull back. You could have a slight bend in the knees. You can place your hands on your thighs or on your shins. Get to a point that's comfortable for you. Check that the buttocks are over the heels of the feet, rather than pushing the buttocks behind you that way. You want to have them resting centrally over the heels of the feet. Now, this will alter the balance in your feet, but that's fine because you can adjust and adapt. Really letting go of the back of the neck so that the crown of the head points down towards the floor. Unclench your teeth, soften the skin on your face. Nice deep breath in, refilling those lungs. And then sigh the breath out. You can let it go through the mouth, out of the mouth. And then let's walk the hands up the legs as we pull the tummy in. Keep the chin onto the chest whilst we restack the bones of the spine to bring ourselves upright once again into Tadasana. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears, and just without flicking your hair or moving your t-shirt or making any motion, just stand still so that the new levels of oxygenated blood in your head, in your brain, may settle. And now let's do the same again, but with jackknife arms. So we're going to take a nice breath in. You could even give a bit of a shake around the arms, loosen the shoulders, and then you're going to take the hands behind you, link the fingers, and extend through the arms. Now, if you need to keep a bit of a bend on the arms in the early days of your practice, then do so. In time, you'll be looking to straighten and extend them, because that will help open out across the front of the chest. You're going to draw the shoulder blades towards each other. A nice deep inhalation, lifting internally, and then exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, keeping the legs strong, ensuring that it's a total leg experience on both sides, that the muscles on the lower half and the upper half are working, that you're inclusive with the flesh on all of the leg, both sides. Now as you begin to descend forward, your hands will
draw away from the base of the spine, and then we'll stretching those linked fingers up towards the ceiling and then over and across. No judgment on yourself as to where your hands reach at the moment. If they can't get any further than here for now, that's fine. It's a start. And you will notice that as you breathe and make more attunement with your breath, utilize it as your guide, your hands will begin to rise up. You will soften in the shoulder girdle, and you'll be able to extend forward. And then pull the tummy in, support the spine, strengthen it as you rise up. See if you can keep those hands lifted as your spine straightens. And then once the shoulders are over the hips, allow the arms to lower and release. And you might like to give them a nice shake now. They'll feel really stretched across the front, loose, limber. Really great for if you have that regular rounded position, which can become habitual. You tend to work like this at the desk, and then as you get up and go away, your shoulders are still rounded. So you just have that thought in the mind that, okay, I can take my shoulders back and I can drop them down and I can open across my heart space. It gives you a good feeling of muscle tone and an outward expression of energy. So now we are going to enhance our levels of concentration. We are going to practice Garudasana, the eagle posture, a deity in Indian mythology. And this position is going to challenge us as we balance on one leg and entwine the arms as well as the legs. Let's give it a go. We're going to practice the legs individually, the arms individually, and then we'll bring it all together. So from our foundation position of Tadasana, mountain posture, we're going to take the weight into our left leg, and we're going to peel the heel of the right foot away from the mat. We're then going to bend that left knee and sit ourselves down. Take the sitting bones down towards the mat. You're going to learn how to extend the trunk of the body upwards whilst the knees are bending and the legs are going down. So you're now going to pick up the right leg, you're going to cross it high over your left thigh, and you're going to wrap the right foot around the back of the left calf muscle. Avoid allowing your left knee to rotate out. You want to keep that left knee aligned in front of you. Rest your hands on your thighs. Keep your weight pressing down into the left foot. Ensure that there's weight in the big toe and the heel of the foot, that they stay connected with the mat at all times. Have your shoulders over your hips. Breathe. And then gently release. Return to upright mountain. Let's go to the other side. Now, one thing to remember and to check as you do this position, as we peel the left heel away from the mat and we bend the right knee and sit the buttocks down, we want to ensure that we keep the shoulders over the hips. There's going to be a tendency for the body to want to lean forward. Your body is very clever. It's going to possibly want to find the easiest way out of doing this, but we want to do it correctly. So let's think about almost as if we have a wall behind us
and our shoulders are staying connected with the wall, as is our lower back. So lift the left leg, bring it high over the right thigh, and then cross that left shin around the right calf muscle. Get the right knee facing directly ahead of you. Avoid allowing it to swing out to the right. Keep it straight ahead. Keep the balance in the right big toe, the heel of the right foot. Adjust and refine your position by having that inner eye focusing and keeping track on the alignment of the skeleton. And then release from the position. So that's the legs. Now let's practice the arms. We're going to breathe in, take the hands out in line with the shoulders. As we exhale, allow them to drop down in front of you, bringing the left arm over the right, then cross at the elbows, and then they are going to entwine so that they come round to have palm facing palm. Now to begin with, if you can't manage this, keep practicing here and crossing so that the arms come up to the hands come up to the opposite shoulders. In time, you'll be able to just wrap them and turn the palms so that they begin to look at each other. Now once the palm of the right hand can rest in the palm of the left, you want to start looking at raising the elbows to shoulder level. And getting those hands so that the outer edge of the left hand along the pinky line faces directly in front of you. And you'll have your point of focus on your right wrist, and you'll allow the breath to flow, and then carefully you will unfold. Avoid releasing and having that sling back action where they just spring open. You want to control the exit from your position just like you controlled the entrance. Now let's practice on the other side with the arms. Breathe in, raise the hands to shoulder level, extend into the fingertips. And now is the time to create space in the arms, for space in the arms will assist with this position. It will help you develop elasticity in your skin. So upon your next breath out, we'll lower the arms, bring in the left arm underneath and to wrap around. So you want the left palm of hand to rest into the right palm of hand, the fingers pointing upwards. The outer edge of that right hand along the pinky line will be facing directly in front of you. And then see if you can raise those elbows. But no judgment if you are not able to do this immediately. Remember, you can practice by just bringing the hands to the opposite shoulders for now. Keep the face soft and relax along the jawline with the teeth unclenched. And gently release. Through concentration, the teeth can grit and close and cause a lot of contraction here, which will then cause the mind to tense. And we want to stay calm and composed because that will allow flow. So be aware of that. We are going to be intensifying the concentration now, bringing both parts of the movement together. So just observe that your jawline is nice and relaxed. So let's peel the heel of the right foot away from the mat bend the left knee. Sink the body down. You're going to lift that right leg and wrap it high over the left thigh and bring that right shin and right foot around the back of the left calf muscle. You've got a nice upright trunk, so you're extending the trunk upwards, although the legs are lowering down to the mat. Let's breathe in and take the hands out to the side. As we exhale, let's lower, left arm above, right arm under, and then entwine those arms. See if you can raise the elbows, lower the buttocks, extend the trunk up, face relaxed, teeth unclenched. Breathe. And then, with the grace and strength that you went into the position, you come out. Standing centrally in Tadasana to refresh the breath, to have a moment of reflection, to imbibe the essence of the eagle. And then we'll go on the other side. So we'll peel the heel of the left foot away from the mat. We'll bend the right knee. We'll pick that left leg up and wrap it high over the right thigh. Avoid allowing your right knee to swing out to the right. You want it to stay straight ahead. Sit the buttocks down, rise up through the torso. A little tilt of the pelvis, so we take out that lower curvature of the spine. And then we take the arms out to the side. And as we exhale, we bring them down to cross and entwine. And then we raise the elbows, we drop the hips and the buttocks, and we stretch and extend upward through the trunk of the body. Teeth unclenched, skin on the face soft, breath flowing. And then releasing carefully, consciously, slowly. Finding yourself once again in mountain posture where you reach your maximum stature. Taking the moments to refill the lungs, to recharge the levels of energy. You might like to close the eyes, draw inward. And then open the eyes. So let's place the hands on the hips, make space in the body, in all parts, bottom, middle, top, front, back, sides, and then using our thumbs, gentle pressure, hinge forward. Being observant and watchful of your alignment as you lower. Getting halfway and just checking that you're not twisted, you haven't got one shoulder lower than another. They're nice and level, as is the head and neck. Take yourself down to the point that is comfortable for you and let go. You might like to catch the hands to the opposite elbows and allow your head to swing through the space you've made with the arms. Passively elongating the trunk of the body in this position, getting a fresh rush of blood to the head. And then engaging the core of you, the stomach muscles,
Really allow them to kick in and strengthen and support the spine as you rise up. And then release the hands to bring them to the heart. Take a moment of gratitude to the self for your dedication, for your practice, for the benefits you are receiving and will continue to receive with your continual perseverance. And stay safe in the knowledge that yoga is good for you.